So we're going to move on. Again, we might have some time at the end for questions, but just write them on your note cards. And we're going to move on to Kristen, who's the Chief Impact Officer for Revolution Foods. A great, like I said, a great vendor, service vendor for school food that is really changing up the system. I'm going to come let her explain what she does and what the impact is.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. It's wonderful to be here in the company of such amazing folks, many whom I know, many whom I don't. Just want to give you a bit of a snapshot of Revolution Foods, kind of where we've come from, where we're headed, what our mission is. So we started with a mission to provide fresh, healthy meals to schools, really with the idea of building lifelong healthy eaters by making kid-inspired chef-crafted food accessible to all. So accessible to all is incredibly important to us, and we have done this and built the organization over the last just about 10 years with a real focus on the same communities that Kurt is talking about, the communities where the majority of kids qualify for a free and reduced price lunch, and where the majority of kids are coming from families who are really reliant on school meals to provide reliable meals to their children during the day. We have, so 80% of the students who are eating our meals every day are FRL kids, free and reduced lunch kids, and our food is made with real ingredients. We have built the organization of Revolution Foods in a way where we can be a partner to food service directors, a partner to self-operated school districts. We're not a food service management company. We're not coming in and managing food services on site for school districts. We're coming in as a food product partner where schools don't have the ability, for schools who don't have the ability to do their own scratch cooking or to make their own fresh food, in their facilities. So we're designing and making all of our food in our own culinary centers and delivering it to schools every day. And we're doing it all with real ingredients. We have a very strict kind of ingredient policy with no artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, no high fructose corn syrup, no trans fats. I mean, a lot of these things have become very common in the dialogue around school food. But we have really focused on building a clean label supply chain for schools. And that's been a huge part of the focus of our work. We also work really closely with the students that we serve every day. And so we engage the students in bringing new ideas to us for what they want to see in their cafeterias, and when we start asking kids and we start sitting down with them, they're not just asking for Domino's pizza, right? I mean, we've really tried to sit down and give kids credit and respect kids' taste preferences and their own knowledge about what's good for them, what's not so good for them, and we work with them in a very close and engaging way. We also do this to make sure that the food that we're creating and delivering every day is culturally relevant, and so we do regional food development for different communities, different regions of the country. We've done a lot of work in Louisiana where we've developed a jambalaya that kids in California don't ask for, but kids in New Orleans won't go to school if they're not gonna get a jambalaya on their menu. We do a lot of work with specific communities. We have schools in San Francisco Unified School District where 90+% of the kids are Asian, and they came to us saying the breakfast that you're serving us is not isn't what we are used to eating. So we developed a rice bowl breakfast program that we engage with kids and got their ideas for, and then we also let them name it. So we have the Sunshine Breakfast Rice Bowl that's now one of our most popular menu items for breakfast in San Francisco Unified School District. So we do a lot of work with kids and with students to make sure that the food that we're creating and delivering every day is meeting their expectations culturally as well as and really respecting where they're coming from. So we've kind of designed our whole supply chain, our whole system with this kind of this idea of first of all, real food ingredients. So very, very strict ingredient standards of what's now, I think Chef Ann was telling me, it's now become known as the 7 ingredients of concern. All of the artificial additives and preservatives, the dough conditioners, all of the things that have been sneaking into our food system over the last 50 years, where we're seeing all the statistics of what impact that's having on us. We also have standards around sugar and things like that, where the USDA guidelines don't present guidelines. We take those real food ingredients, we build them into chef-crafted recipes. We have chefs that are making all of the meals that we're serving every day. That's built into a healthy menu, so schools and food service directors can pick and choose from that menu if they want to use it to augment what they're currently doing, or they can, sign up for the whole thing if they don't have the ability to make that food themselves. So, San Francisco Unified is a really good example of this, where the food service director has some of her high schools are making some food on site where they have the staff and the ability to do that. A lot of their entrees are coming from us, and because they haven't been able to, put the infrastructure in place to do all their scratch cooking themselves. So we've done that, really as a partnership where, we can kind of tune up and tune down how much we're delivering to a given school based on what their needs are and what kinds of things they're able to do themselves. We have over 100 entrees that we've developed over the years. We have, they're all kind of tested and tried over and over again. We're constantly refining the menu items that we have, but it's everything from sort of the kid classics, the hot dog, but our hot dog is an all beef, grass-fed beef hot dog with just 5 ingredients, and it's obviously on a whole grain bun, all the way to, we really push the envelope with, our salads. We've got a really popular salad program that's especially picking up steam in high schools and middle schools. And kind of everything in between. We've got a firecracker chicken, which is one of our most popular items. That's kind of a new thing that you don't typically see on a school food menu, but we're introducing new flavors and profiles into the school menu. This is just kind of the background on the definition of when we say real food and when we say clean label food, what we mean. I won't go into a ton of detail on this because this could be a whole kind of talk unto itself. But really, it's all of the unacceptable ingredients that we have identified. We actually identified them in partnership with Whole Foods originally, where we looked at how did Whole Foods define what it allows into its stores, what chemicals and preservatives it doesn't allow, and we based our list off of that same list. But we also put in place nutrition standards because we know things like sugar that aren't currently regulated in the USDA standards are of real concern when it comes to helping our kids build healthy eating habits. So we've set our own standards around that. When we are working with schools and primarily working with both self-operated school districts, charter schools, summer programs, after-school programs, we're delivering food fresh every single day to the back door of schools. So we're preparing the food, delivering it fresh in refrigerated trucks. We're every single meal that we're serving is reimbursable and compliant. So whether that's a breakfast, whether that's a lunch meal, whether that's an after-school supper, they're 100% compliant, and we provide all the documentation to help a food service director, incorporate our products and our meals into their overall program. And then we do a lot of support with schools. We support schools on parent engagement. We support schools on nutrition education. I'm also a mom of 3 kids, and I know when my kids are in the kitchen cooking with me, they're much more likely to eat the dinner that we're putting on the table that night. We take that same approach with the kids in schools that we work with. So we've actually shown that we have, when we've brought kids and parents in to learn how to make the same meals that are being served in their school classrooms, it actually ends up increasing and bringing a sustained increase in participation into the lunch program, especially among kids who have not traditionally been eating, multiple times a week. So we're seeing the impact of the nutrition education and the engagement that we engage in. We've also focused a lot on helping schools to roll out unitized breakfast programs, breakfast in the classroom programs, to really help schools bring their food service program into the black by bringing these other programs like breakfast, after school supper into play. After school supper has been a really big area of impact for us because it's an area where a lot of schools don't have the ability to, have a staff that stays after school to prepare and serve the supper program. So our supper program comes fully unitized, ready to serve, and it's really easy for just an after-school coordinator to, to distribute it in a way that doesn't require a lot of sort of on-site food service staff. We are, at the end of the day, trying to set students up for success. We're trying to give students the fuel that they need, both a healthy, balanced meal, but also the satiety that they need so that they're feeling, full and nourished so that they can focus and study, whether it's after breakfast or after lunch, and make it through the rest of their day. We really believe, and, we're seeing the impact of the fact that, when you get kids eating a fresh, healthy meal on a regular basis, we're seeing the impact of that in both participation rates. We're seeing the impact in students' ability to focus. I think, we all feel it ourselves. And we're seeing the impact that the students that are eating healthfully are set up for learning success. And that's, we actually started the organization. My business partner, Kristen, who's here with me today, and I are both educators by training. I was a teacher before getting into the food business, and got into this because I saw the impact that unhealthy eating was having on the kids that I was working with. I actually did a lot of garden education, brought kids into the garden, helped them to see, when they pulled up a carrot, they were more likely to, eat and try carrots in the future. But then I saw that as students were going into their school cafeterias, they weren't always, this was, 15 years ago, they weren't always seeing the food that they were pulling up from the garden in the school cafeteria. And it's been amazing to see the change and the progress that's been made over the last 15 years. In terms of our presence, we're based in Northern California, but we have expanded across the country. We have 7 regional culinary centers where we're cooking and preparing fresh meals every day. We're in Northern California, Southern California, the DC area, Colorado, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Louisiana. We also have taken a leap into the retail world. So as we continued to work with families and schools that we serve every day, we heard over and over again from parents saying, it's great that you're serving great food in my kid's school, but how can I access that food for, my kid who's in a different school, or for myself going to my office every day. Healthy eating is a challenge, not just in school, but all, in all parts of our lives. So we created a retail product line. Sorry, I skipped over this bit, but our staff is all locally hired. We have over 1,500 now. I think this slide is a little bit outdated. 1,500 team members who are preparing and delivering the food every day. But in partnership with the families that we work with every day, we developed a retail product line because we realized that when families are going to find something to pack for their kid to go to summer camp, or when they're packing for the weekend, they're faced with when they're looking for something that's convenient to go on the weekend or on a vacation, on a road trip. They're faced with an aisle of yellow in the fresh refrigerated meals category, and that aisle of yellow has been dominated by Oscar Mayer's Lunchables for who knows how long, 30 plus years. And at the same time, when parents are packing their kids' meals and snacks at home, they're, parents, and I'm a parent too, it's hard to get a balanced meal into that lunchbox if you are packing your child's lunch every day. So we wanted to take what we've learned in schools and translate it into a way for parents to have a solution, that they can grab and go in an easy way. So we've created our Jetpacks line that now sits right next to Lunchables in Safeway stores. This summer it's going to be out in Walmart stores, with the same kind of mission of wanting to make this accessible to families who are, shopping in our mainstream grocery stores. So this is, a natural product. It also is sold in Whole Foods, but we've been very focused on making sure that it's accessible through the mainstream grocery channel to complement the work that we're doing in schools every day. So with that, I think I will also make one more note, which is that the lunch that you'll be eating today after this panel is done is a Revolution Foods lunch. It's a compliant lunch. So you will be eating what kids in cafeterias that we serve in this region, what they are eating for lunch today. So I believe we're having a chicken teriyaki with some fresh vegetables, with some brown rice. There's a pasta Alfredo with whole grain pasta and a scratch-made sauce. So I hope that you enjoy it. We're always open to feedback, so let one of us know. If there's a few of us here, Kristen Wiley is here, if you raise your hand, and then Kristen Richmond, who I think stepped out for a minute, is here as well. So feel free to give us any feedback that you have after eating lunch today, and we will look forward to hearing it.
That's so great. It's great to see how far your company has come, and it's just a testament to where we're going. And keeping in line, I've got one question for you. I got 100 questions for you, but I'm going to keep it to one. So you've created this retail line, which brings us to a really good point. We can all work hard, and we can actually change school food, potentially, hopefully. But that doesn't change family choices, family decisions. And what, from your perspective, is it going to take to actually get the families to choose the Jetpack over the Lunchables, or something over Doritos? I mean, what do you think can help there?
choose based on taste. Whether you're the most educated, nutrition educated person, or somebody who's never seen a fresh carrot in their life, we have to make sure that the healthier options also are the tastier options. And so there's a lot of work going on with the Culinary Institute of America on training chefs, and I think that that's the way that we're going to shift taste, because it really is taste that's going to have to shift. We have to make sure that our restaurants and our fast casuals and all of those, all the places where our taste buds are trained and formed, that those places are also training us to eat the healthier and choose the healthier options. And that includes in grocery stores too, because it's, how many people have bought something because they think it's going to be healthy, and then you taste it and it's like, I'm not gonna buy that again. So I think it's all about taste.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, we have next Bertrand Weber, who is the Nutrition and Culinary Services Director for Minneapolis School District. I have no facts, but I would definitely say in the top 5 school food programs in the country, without a doubt. Bertrand is a leader, a food service leader, and he's done some incredible things. So why don't you come up and talk about it?